It's not real money if you use Apple Pay. Apple pays for it.
If it's less than $5, it doesn't count, right?
Also, if my Apple card thing in the app is preloaded, that's free.
This is girl math. This is girl money math right
It's free.
here.
It's not real money.
Okay, and on that note, welcome back to Tales from the Service Industry. I'm your host, I'm Bill. I'm here tonight with our favorite resident deviant, Liz.
Hi, team.
And Ms. B.
What up, guys?
So, guys, we don't have a human special guest tonight, but we have kind of a fourth thing in the room that is a camera.
Yeah, so if you're listening to us on YouTube, hopefully this next episode's a little different.
Oh, yeah.
You can see our shenanigans with drinking wine and cheersing.
So, unfortunately, you can't see our faces, but you can kind
not
of
so unfortunate.
see our wine, our hands coming in and out of the frame, and you can see the wonderful treats that I brought my fabulous co-host this evening.
Thanks, Mom.
And before you wonder why that is, again, it comes back to the fact that we are working professionals. And while we like to share stories and give people a little insight into our world,
You see how
as
hard
Ms.
I
B
work to
super gently sets the glass down.
Yeah.
Because then you hear
Anyway, since we are still working in the industry, we do try to keep a little bit of a lower profile. So welcome to the Tales from the Service Industry studio.
I missed you guys.
Oh, missed you too.
I
It's been
know.
a minute.
I know we've been releasing episodes as regular and as scheduled, but we have not recorded in quite a minute, just with the three of us.
OG3.
OG3, we are back and we are ready and we are feeling spicy tonight.
Well, the other thing is that we've recorded and we've banked episodes. So
Yeah.
got to take a little bit of a break behind the scenes.
Yeah, because we all have lives, as do you as listeners, and sometimes
What?
You don't-
We don't have lives. We work in the service industry.
That is my life.
I mean, very true. But we have other obligations sometimes, and it's nice that we can stack episodes and still give our listeners their episodes as scheduled.
So if you hear a little bit of clinking on coasters as glasses get set down or munching, we are enjoying some of the most amazing snickerdoodles.
Brought to you by yours truly, Liz's mom. Thanks, Liz, Mom.
Well, no, I made them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I made them.
I thought you said your mother made them and you freezed
It's
them.
it's her recipe.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's just as exciting.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
they are-
wish they were Liz's moms.
They
but
are delicious, and
fine.
anyone listening from my hometown that probably played sports with me, yeah, you know these snickerdoodle bars.
so bomb.
My mom makes them better. Anyway, enough of her. I do have kind of an time-sensitive topic.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
So I want to congratulate all of us for surviving Hurriquake Hillary 2023.
Yeah, we did it. It was so hard.
All this hype.
It was insane.
I mean, they told us to prepare for the worst, and nothing happened.
I bought a battery-operated radio.
Yeah, Bill, you got to listen to this and how Ms. B truly prepared for
Okay,
the
guys.
apocalypse.
I bought a couple cases of water bottles. I got toilet paper. I got paper towels. I got first aid kit, like the legit one. I got a battery operated radio because they said we needed that for like emergency radio messages and stuff. I got battery packs for my phone so I never have to go without a charge.
Flashlights?
Tea lights.
Okay. Okay.
They were out of flashlights.
You were too late.
Yes.
What else could you have? Did you get gallons of water?
We
got water bottles.
We got water
Okay.
bottles. So yeah,
Because they were saying like get pitchers like from your tap to use as like dishwashing and for hand washing.
Did I miss that? But
And then they told you to buy gallon water jugs from the store for drinking water.
okay.
Truly the apocalypse. Like they told us to prepare for power outages, major flooding. My big question for you guys is,
Okay.
but thank you for Miss B for sharing how you prepared
So well
at
for
home.
nothing.
How did we prepare our workplaces for this disastrous storm?
We took down the flags and removed the cushions out of the pool.
Is that your standard rain prep? Did you do anything extra?
Absolutely no.
Okay. Bill?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah. So for us, we ensured that the roof was clear of anything lightweight because unfortunately, a lot of hotels, for whatever reason, stuff ends up on their roof.
Yeah.
Everything that was lightweight, so all of our pool furniture got stacked and cabled, or it was put into a interior
Storage.
room.
Yeah. Okay.
We had planned on closing the pool because they were saying that there's a chance for thunder and lightning, and the last thing you want to do is have people in a big body of water when there's lightning going on. Mm-hmm. We had advised everybody that we were going to be closing the pool, yet people didn't care. So we ended up having to cable lock the pool gates down so that people couldn't swim.
That's so funny.
Was this the day prior to the storm or day of?
No, it was the evening prior to.
Okay.
So it was about 7 o'clock. People were still swimming. It was like, hey, look, you guys got to get out. Come on. I mean, look, at that point,
Go back in your room. Go to dinner.
And I know we were joking about the fact that we prepared and it came out to be a whole bunch of nothing. But at the same time, there are reasons why they asked you to do certain things, like setting aside water and bottled water and all that, because should the water system lose pressure and you have a backflow situation, because we have to have backflow testing done every year at our hotels to ensure that tainted water doesn't go back in the system. But if the municipal system lost pressure and had something get into it, then that contaminates the water supply. So that's why they said, hey, have gallons of water on the side for drinking, and whatever comes out of your tap you can use for flushing toilets and things like that, but they can't guarantee that what is in the municipal water system would be safe to drink at that point.
Oh my God, I thought this was because faucets wouldn't work.
No.
There is a reason.
It's because the municipal water system is pressurized. Everywhere that they have water go out of the system into a business, a building, a factory, whatever, there are backflow valves. So water can only go one direction. So if the pressure within that building was to increase higher than the pressure in the municipal water system, then that water is ejected out the backflow valve.
Oh my God, I literally just thought like the sink wouldn't work.
No.
And so we were getting water bottles for that. Wow. Okay, cool.
I mean,
We
I'm
learned
not
something
trying
today.
to downplay the storm because there were areas that were severely affected and there were areas that had to be evacuated. I'm just talking about like our personal experience.
Like 90% of California and Southern California. Because it was pretty much just like deserts and high ground and areas.
Look at what we saw come out of the deserts. They got a ton of rain, and that's in an area that just doesn't normally get rain. I mean, I saw rivers river beds that looked like they hadn't seen water in decades flowing 6 feet deep. And that's the thing that was concerning about for me is that you've got all this prep that's going on. Where we live, there's 4 million people in the area in this county, give or take. So for 4 million people that prepared, they had a whole bunch of nothing. Mm-hmm. And then you have the adjacent county that had all the water in the desert that saw a whole bunch of inundation, a much smaller percentage and population of people. And they had a very different experience. They have a very different take on this. And what is going to suck is the next time this happens, whether it's in 90 years or
it's that
9
like
years.
wolf thing where I'm like, oh, remember when the last one
Do you remember
did?
in 2023?
Exactly. And that's when people are going to get hurt or burned or,
Well,
whatever the case may be.
People like me that have anxiety will prep regardless.
I had
That's why
probably
prepped.
like 60% of the anxiety you did. Like I was prepped.
Yeah.
Not to that extent.
You mean not like our friend who was just out drinking in LA being like, hurricane? What?
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. And yeah, I almost told that friend, like, you need to go home. Like, I know for a fact you have stuff on the patio. You need to take that in, girl.
Oh my God. But yeah, to your point, Bill, yeah. I mean, I hope something like this doesn't happen again, but I mean, it will. Climate change
Eventually.
and everything.
We prepped so much at work. It was crazy. I made a checklist for the team to do.
Okay, but your situation's a little bit different. We
a
don't
lot of
have
outdoor.
a freaking marina.
But I have a lot of outdoor stuff to
That's
take
why
care of.
You have a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I had to secure the boats. Those poor boats.
I was texting her worried. I was like, how do you protect the boats? And she's like,
You don't.
pray.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
you secure anything that's lightweight. You make sure that they're tied in well. Maybe add a...
Unplug them.
That was an extra precaution in case water got in the boat. I secured all of the chargers to just ensure they didn't get water damage because those are like $300 a pop. I didn't want to be spending like $2,000 just on chargers. They can go unplugged for a day. It's fine.
Did anything get damaged?
No.
That's amazing.
No. We had one buoy.
Took a beating?
No. I didn't say that right. So we have like a I call them string of pearls. They're big orbs like connected to each other that separates like open water and a swim area.
Yeah.
Those got disconnected from a dock. You just had to rehook it in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's some tragic damage.
But I thought I had a pretty like good list going. And then the next day, our director of security like calls me and he's like, I need to meet with you today. We need to prep. And I'm like, dude, like my staff is already prepped. They have a list. And he's like, okay, sounds good. Like, thank you. Yeah, he added like 10 things to my list.
Damn.
So I originally just pulled the pool cushions off of the Chase lounges. He wanted the Chase lounges and umbrellas bases cleared from the pool deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
So we just stacked furniture because we had nowhere else to put them. Another restaurant was using the only meeting space available. So I was like, well, the Chase lounges can get wet. Like, we never put them away for any rain. They can get wet.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, it all comes back to they were expecting wind that didn't show up.
Yeah. I waited all day for wind. I never saw any of it.
Right, but those lounge chairs, how much do they weigh?
They can't be more than 10 pounds.
Yeah, they're not very
10
heavy.
pounds at most.
They're not very heavy. You put a 50-mile-an-hour wind under it, it's going to fly away.
Yeah.
Like a toothpick.
Yeah. The idea of prepping is not bad. The problem with it is that everybody did a lot of prep and it didn't come to fruition. And now people are going to be like, oh, well, next time I'm not going to do such and such. I mean, I grew up in a place where we would get tropical storms and they were no joke. So my experience seeing that this was coming and hearing what the statistics were, it's like, okay, well, let's be smart about it.
Yeah. Why didn't the storm materialize, if any of you know?
I think it like split and moved and...
It did a lot of weird things.
It did.
Oh. So I stayed up waiting because I was excited for this freaking storm, to use my radio, to light my candles.
Did you turn on the radio?
Of course. Gotta test it, and I put it preloaded on a news channel.
Oh, okay. Were they talking
about it? Yeah, all they did was talk for days about this, and then the storm comes. Like, oh, thank God we prepared, and then we moved on quickly.
On the radio?
Yeah. You don't listen to the radio news?
I do not. I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the radio. I have my podcasts that I listen to that don't talk about the news.
Yeah,
except for this one, where we are talking about exactly that.
Right now, yes. I do listen to our episodes.
Yeah, see, I do, and that's probably why I have anxiety.
Yeah, you should stop.
I can't.
You need like a meditation, something or other.
Oh, I got those too.
Oh my God.
Sponsored by the Calm app.
Oh, okay. We are not sponsored, but
no,
Calm,
I am.
But Calm, if you hear this, feel free to shoot us a DM.
Well, okay. So other than hurricanes, how's everybody's work week?
Work week sucked.
Oh,
here.
Sorry, pardon the snickerdoodle.
Your kids are really not getting any of those.
No, they're going to be
not.
Gone in the next.
They're going to be gone in the next 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't bring more.
Okay.
I'm sorry you didn't bring more either.
I saved some for myself.
Well, smart move because we could have eaten them.
I'll bake more.
All right.
Yes, you will.
Give me a request list. What do we like?
Any kind of cookie. No nuts. No peanut butter, please.
Oh, you agree with her?
Yeah.
No peanut butter.
I don't have a problem with peanut butter.
Not in a
it's
cookie.
just not my flavor in a cookie. Yeah.
Y'all are fired.
Amen.
No, you are fired.
No, but like I like peanut butter with things, but in it doesn't belong in a cookie. I'm sorry.
You're telling me a peanut butter fluffer nutter cookie does not sound good?
No thanks.
Peanut butter and marshmallow melted ooey goodness.
Peanut butter. I don't want it in a
It's
cookie.
a very overpowering flavor when it comes to desserts, I will say. But I love that. Any hoozy.
Oh yeah,
Back to work. Back to the pod. Bill, your work sucks.
Work sucks.
Is it because of summer or
No, it's because of dumb diddy dum dums.
employees or
Diddly-dum-dums.
guests?
No, actually, as much as we've shared stories about employees doing
Dum diddy dum dums.
the less than brilliant things, choosing option B on an intelligence level.
Yeah.
It has, honest to God, been nothing but guest issues the last 2 weeks.
Dang. I bet you jinx yourself because you keep saying how like work's uneventful and
Like, oh, I don't have much.
That was like a month ago.
yeah,
That was the last time we recorded.
The jinx saved up.
Oh, yeah, that's
and then
right.
They exploded.
That was then, this is now. So yes, unfortunately, I broke the cardinal rule and said everything was cool and nothing really was going on. And then all of a sudden, everything's going on.
Are you blessing us with a Bill rant?
You know what?
Yeah.
I probably will, but I am trying to calm down a little bit about it because some of the things that
let
happened.
it fly.
You seem a little hyped. You seem a little hyped.
I am a little hyped. You should have seen me last week. I was furious.
We recorded a little bit of an episode that will never make the air.
Sorry, listeners.
It sounded like a good idea to record last week, and it just devolved into like I kind of felt like I was one of her favorite comedians.
I know, they are
You're
my
just
favorite.
laughing.
My favorite angry comics. That's my cup of tea.
Oh.
Angry and cursing and bitter at the world. Oof.
That was D, all the above, right here on
Give
this
me a
mic.
tall glass of that.
Well, even for our listeners, like pre-recording tonight, you were heated.
I'm sorry. I'm tired of people being stupid.
Yeah,
And like
amen
trying
to
to take
that.
advantage, being advantageous, and then being indignant about it.
Okay, give us an example. I'm dying.
All right. Perfect example is this.
Okay.
When you make a reservation, you can make the reservation using a myriad of different codes.
Right.
Okay. You can be a AAA. You can book it as a senior rate. You can book it as military. You can book it as a preferred corporate. But you need to understand that when you get to that front desk, they're going to ask you to qualify for that rate. So if you book a AAA rate and you're checking in, your questions are going to be what?
Can I see your AAA card, please?
Along with your ID and your credit card. Boom. Right?
And
No
it
big
says
deal.
right there in the confirmation that you have to provide a valid photo ID to be eligible for this rate.
Well, yeah, and you have to have your AAA card. So all this last week, we had people checking in on government rates, like government, travel, business rates.
Because they're just clicking every button and they're like, wow, this one goes really low when I click this button.
Yes. And the people checking in are not on government business.
I love that.
And 2 out of the 3 that I had to deal with personally were not even from the state of California.
Oh my
They booked a California
State government rate?
rate.
That's amazing.
One was from Arizona, one was from Kentucky.
So how did they like justify having booked that rate?
But they didn't justify. Well, I was able to book it.
Are you serious?
That was the explainer reason as to why they should qualify for the rate.
Oh my God. I would have been like, okay, can I see your confirmation email?
Oh, I did ask one person
Pointed.
for it, and they were like, oh, no, I never got a confirmation.
Oh, bull shark.
Yeah, so you put in your email address, because I see that's on the reservation. You booked the reservation, and you didn't get a
God.
confirmation?
Come on.
Exactly, come on.
We literally get emails for freaking everything
So
these days.
this happened to me actually recently, and a gentleman booked the federal government rate. And I asked for his federal government ID, and he didn't provide me one. He said, I'm a veteran. And I said, oh, thank you so much. I thank you for your service. But to be eligible for the federal government rate, you have to be an active federal government employee. And he's like, well, I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, it is on the website. When you click the rate, it says that. He's
Yeah.
like, I didn't see that. And I said, okay, let's do it together.
The little asterisks underneath it.
So we did it together, and I pretended like I was going to book. I showed him, I click it, and then I'm like, you see all that writing right there? Oh, I didn't read that. And I'm like, okay. And then you get a confirmation email. It says the same thing. Like, you have to be eligible for that rate in order to book it. You are not an active federal government employee. So you're not. You can't get the rate.
Okay, so
Are you the a-hole of the week?
I probably am.
so my
I
guy
gave him a reg rate.
My guy today did the exact same thing. So I compromised with him and I gave him a AAA rate, which is the exact same that we would give for military discount. But the guy that checked in and tried to do this today was on a California state government rate. He had an Arizona ID.
Like, what are you thinking, dude?
Yeah,
How?
it clearly says California government rate.
And then I hate when they get surprised you ask them for it. I'm
I know.
but this happens all the time. They look at me, they're like, I don't have that. I'm like, but you
No.
booked it.
You know what? No. That leads into the whole thing about people that are like, well, I travel all the time and I've never, ever been asked for an incidental hold on my credit card.
I had a plat that did that this week.
Oh, God.
Literally, one of our highest tiers, we put an incidental hold in their account. They're like, why am I seeing this hold for this much? And I'm like, that's the incidental hold. It's like, I am at, whatever level. I travel X amount of days. I'm like, oh, then you're well aware that every single hotel does. This has never happened. I said, I have worked for my particular brand for 10 years, X brand for this many years. I said, in the States, there is not a hotel that does not do it. I just never noticed.
Is this just people that have never looked?
No.
Have never seen it? Or are they just trying
She
to pull a
stole
fast
a number.
Keeping in mind that some of these people are at a tier level where they have to travel like 75 plus nights a year.
Yep.
You're telling me that you have never experienced this in the 75 nights that you've traveled this year alone?
Do you know what I want to do next time? Ask this same person. I said, okay, do me a favor. I want you to pick up your phone. I want you to call any hotel in the continental United States. Any hotel. Do it. I'll give you $100 out of my pocket if they don't do an incidental hold.
I'll give you 5,000 points.
That's not enough.
I'll give you 50,000 points.
There it
To
is.
find me a hotel.
Oh, in this, since you're a insert tier here, high level, I want you to pick one in our brand.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Pick one. Anyone.
Call them. Put it on speaker. Let's see how this goes.
But an incidental hold. Is that just like the extra $100 or so they
Yes, ma'am.
per stay or per night?
Per night.
Per night.
Like I always say, like, oh yeah, whatever. I've never noticed it.
Most people, because you bring a credit card and
Yeah.
it just...
Yeah, it's the broke ass mofos that use their debit card that get all bent out of shape about it because you're not holding...
You're holding cash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not holding mythical money. You're
and it
holding
holds
hard
for a long
cash.
time. It holds for like 6 to 10 business days.
But the credit card, I mean, next time I pay my bill, it's never been an issue.
Yeah, because it's not for normal people. It's
Thank
one
you.
out of 100. That
Thank you
has
so
a
much for
problem.
calling me normal.
Well, let's
You
not
don't hear that a
let's
lot.
not go overboard.
All right.
Don't let it go to your head, Liz. Yeah,
So a lot
so
of that.
it's just been a lot of that. And then I had, oh my God, I think I ranted about this. The guest that called that wanted to check in early. Did I share that story with you?
Keep going and I'll tell you.
Or was that, or did this happen after? Oh, you know what? This might have happened after we got
I'm like,
together
because
last
this
week.
isn't ringing a bell.
Do you know what day it is?
No, I don't.
That's part of it's a side effect of the industry we work in.
Okay, so I am running around the property. I get a phone call. Hey, I've got a guest that wants to check in early. I'm like,
Okay, do we have
Oh
it
my
available?
God.
Okay.
Yes.
okay.
Like,
Good
why do you
for
need,
them.
Why do you
Yeah.
need my help with
And
this?
he's like, well, I don't have any rooms that are ready, and they want a very specific room. They needed a specific bedding type, and they wanted it to be on the first floor. And I had a total of one of those that was going to be available
for them
for them. And the room had just vacated.
at
This
the
is,
time of check-in.
yeah, and this is about 11:45,
Oh, geez.
12, 12:30, somewhere in there.
Early.
Like 45-minute window, right? So guest is gone, and I'm like, okay, well, just let him know that we'll advise housekeeping and we'll have the room ready as soon as possible. He says, well, he wants it well before 3 o'clock. I'm like,
Best of
okay,
luck.
well, it's like noon now. Just contact housekeeping, so on and so forth. And he's like, no, this guy wants to talk to you. And he said if he doesn't talk
God.
to you, he's going to call back every 5 minutes until he does talk to you. Now, at this point, I'm thinking to
That's
myself,
a threat.
well, no, it's not a threat. To me, it says to me,
Low-level harassment.
it just says that this is the kind of guy that I'm going to be dealing with.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I will be right there. So I stop what I'm doing. And at the time I was painting. So it's not
What?
like, yeah, I know.
Bill does
There-
everything.
There's a lot of things that we need to get done at this hotel. So anyway, so I'm painting. So I put everything away. I go to the front desk. I get on the phone with the guy, and the guy is telling me how he's got this reservation for today and he wants to check in early. And I said, okay, the room has already departed. We will advise housekeeping. We will get the room ready for you. And he goes, you're going to get the room ready for me because I'm a platinum, right?
oh my gosh.
And I said, no, sir. I said, I'm going to get the room ready for you because
You
you are
requested it.
incoming guest and we do everything we can to ensure that our incoming guests are taken care of. And he goes,
Yep.
because I'm platinum, right?
Oh my God.
No.
And I said,
Stop.
no, not because you're platinum, because you're our guest. I'm going to make sure that this room is ready in advance for you because you are our guest. But you're doing it because I'm a platinum, right? So we go through this dog and pony show like 4 or 5 times, and he keeps looping back to the status level.
Did you know his status level at the time you picked up the phone and called him?
I did. Well, he was on hold, so I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't have to call him back. But yeah, I knew what he was the moment I picked up the phone. I'd already reviewed his reservation.
Yeah.
I don't care what his level is. What I care about is
don't.
the fact that he's coming to stay with us, and I'm going to do everything I can to make his stay as good as possible. So I emphasized once again, no, sir, I'm not doing this because of your level. I'm doing this because you are our guest.
Yeah.
I do this for all of our
That's
guests.
what we
I
do.
go the distance. I make things happen.
For shit reviews.
He wants me to
eights.
say what his level is, and I refuse to do it because I've already
He wants
addre-
some validation.
I've already addressed
Yeah.
with him the fact that I appreciate that he was a platinum guest when I first got on the phone with him. But now we're not talking about anything that is tier related.
Yeah.
It is absolutely at this point simply about service.
You're asking for early check-in. You're not asking for an upgrade because of status.
And who doesn't ask for that?
Right. So I don't know, 2 hours pass by. I'm back doing my thing.
You're painting.
Oh no, at this point I was doing some other things. I was in the office.
Welding.
And no, I don't. I would love to learn how to weld. I don't know how to weld.
I thought you literally did it all. I'm shocked.
No, I don't. So anyway, I'm back in the office. My phone rings. I answer the phone, and front desk says, "Hey, the guest that you talked to earlier."
Your bestie's here.
No, his wife is here.
Oh, jeez.
His wife wants to talk to you. And I looked at the clock, and it was like 2:45. And I'm like, please tell me that their room is ready. And he says, oh yeah, no, they checked in about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, perfect.
So
You
we
better
got
be thanking you.
we got their room room ready ahead of the 3:00 check-in. So I'm like, okay. So I head downstairs. She wants to talk to me away from the front desk. Great. So I walk out into the lobby. I stand in the corner with her, and she goes, I just need to clarify a few things. And I said, sure, how can I help you? She says, when my husband was talking to you, he kept saying that he was a platinum, and you just kept saying that you were doing this because it's about a matter of service. And I said, yes.
Yeah.
And she goes, well,
Exactly.
she says, well, I don't think that's right. And I said, I'm sorry, why is that? She goes, well, what is the point of having a tier that we are at if we don't get things like early arrivals? So I'm trying to explain to her that there is a difference between a benefit and service, between a perk and what we do for all the guests. And I was explaining to her that your tier gets you things like redemption points earned at a higher rate. It gets you a guaranteed late checkout. It gives you dedicated reservation lines. It gives you X, Y, and Z. And I listed a ton of things that it gives her. I said, all of those are perks that are tied to your tier.
But
They're
you're
your
always
benefits.
you're always entitled to good service.
Exactly.
Regardless
And I said,
of
of
your
status.
And I said to her, I said, I don't care if you're paying premium dollar or coming in on a deep discount. I will treat every one of our guests the exact same way, because to me, it's about your experience and it's about service. And she says, oh, that's about you, not your company.
What?
And I said, ma'am, I'm sorry. I don't understand what is going on here.
Right.
And she again says, oh, well, I just don't understand what the point of my tier level is then. And
Did
I
you
said,
not listen to what I just said?
Yeah.
right. And I said, once again, I said, you're conflating service with benefits. And she goes, yes, but my husband said blah, blah, blah,
my
blah, blah, blah.
God.
And I said, I understand that. I said, I don't even understand why we're having this conversation, because you're not even the member.
Oh.
And she says, and again, she goes back to the whole tier level thing. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. You are
what are you fishing
confusing.
for?
Yeah, you are confusing service with benefits. And she goes, well, you know what? I think we just need to agree to disagree. And I said,
Great. Have a great day.
No.
You're right.
No.
I agree. You're stupid.
No.
You obviously don't.
no, I wouldn't let it go, because
Bill's
it's-
done.
I'm
He is
done.
He's had a week,
No,
okay?
yeah, I was done with this woman because she did not want to understand. She just wanted an ego stroke, and I wasn't going to give it to her. And I refused to give in that she was wanting me to stroke the fact that that her husband is a platinum guest, right? We go through this thing a couple more times. She says again, agree to disagree. I said fine, and then she brings it up again.
Oh, no.
I just envision like Bill saying the same thing and getting
Yeah.
the same response 10 times from the husband and then the wife.
I don't know
the
how you get the
husband never
patience.
showed up. It was just the wife.
On the phone, the first
yeah,
interaction.
Oh, yeah. So we start into the third cycle.
And
of,
you would just keep getting more and more irritated and more like stern in your point, which is the
Yes.
same words. You're just
what was Chris Tucker's line? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
she did
She did
not.
not. So we get into the third cycle of all of this. After she has already said to me twice, we have to agree to disagree, and then loops back into it. And then it was my turn. I'd had enough with this woman. I looked her square in the eye and I said, you know what? A few moments ago, you said we should just agree to disagree. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to agree to disagree. And I turned and I just walked.
Good.
I left her
You
standing
had
there.
the last
Going
word.
forever.
Just left her standing there.
You
Now,
had the last word.
well, yeah, but I didn't realize that there was going to be an opportunity to have an even laster word. And that was that the guest had booked 4 separate one-night reservations.
Wait, what?
Wait for it. The first one was pay direct, regular rate on their platinum benefits.
Right.
The next 3, employee rate.
What?
Oh.
What? No.
Yeah.
How?
So,
How?
Somebody.
Friends and family rate.
Wait, were
Now-
they on Friends and Family or Associate?
No, they were on Friends and Family. Now, here's where I felt like this is kind of ironic, is that with that benefit, you can't combine the two.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can have your tier or you can have your deep discount.
Right.
Yeah, the conversation the next day would have been
You can't-
so lovely. No,
you can't double dip.
They chickened out. They didn't come to the front desk.
Oh, those.
I was waiting for them because I wanted to talk to her.
Shadow boxing
and
in
I
the
was,
corner.
No. I was just going to simply
I
look
would
her
be.
square in the eye.
Bill's ready.
No.
Yeah.
I was going to simply look at her square in the eye and ask her, how do you want me to treat you today? Because she was booked on a very deep discount. She couldn't have her platinum benefits.
I love it.
So do you want me to treat you like a platinum yesterday? Or do you want me to treat you like any of our guests at any level, at any rate today.
Because you ain't applied today.
That's right. You're not a platinum today.
Mic drop.
I'm so disappointed they didn't come.
I am too.
So wait,
I
how
was
did they,
waiting all
they
day.
Checked out for that reservation and checked into the new reservation?
Yeah, they did it. They did it super early in the morning.
On purpose.
Of course.
No, I'm not going to say it was on purpose. I'm just going to say I was disappointed that I didn't get to have a conversation with them.
Oh my God. I would have gone to their room and knocked. Hand delivered those keys.
Yeah,
and
you know what?
and these have removed lounge access.
Well, yeah, we don't have that, but
Don't you wish you did for that conversation?
just for that specific conversation, yeah. Because I can guarantee you, if they stayed at your hotel, they would have demanded to be on the club level,
of course,
and then remain on the club level because they had 3 additional one-night stays.
Absolutely.
3 additional one-night stays. That just seems like a pain in the butt to book.
It's because the rate wasn't available for the full length of stay, so they kept having to book separate nights individually because they're cheap.
But you have to check out and check in every single day?
Every single reservation is its own. Effectively, every single reservation becomes its own legal entity.
Oh,
you
man.
potentially have to change rooms every single day?
There's a potential for that, yeah.
Ugh.
And then, okay, so on that note, I've had guests pull shenanigans like this. They want, let's say, a king-bedded room their whole stay. They will book a king-bedded room for as long as they can, and then a couple of queen-bedded rooms after that, and then just say, I don't don't want to move.
Yeah.
Well, I'm already staying here, so you can't make me move.
And then they don't come back to the hotel, even though you've told them no. You have to move. Then they leave and they don't move their stuff. And so you said, we had this conversation before. Oh, well, I'm not going to be back till 5 or 6. That's okay. We'll move your stuff for you.
Yeah.
I don't want you touching my stuff. I said, well, then you probably should have packed it up before you left because we had this conversation. And they got pissed. And it was like,
why can't you just
had this
bring
conversation.
it down? Like, if you're going to be gone for the whole day, bring your crap down to the front desk.
So we wouldn't move them.
No, they do it on purpose.
It's not accidental. It's all a power flex.
Yeah.
But the right thing to do in that situation would just be pack your shite, bring it down to the front desk, have them hold it, have someone bring it up to your new room.
And
is that the right thing to do?
Most hotels will be nice enough and just say, hey, just have it packed by the door as soon as your room's ready. We'll move it to your new room for you.
Oh, great.
We do that.
Great.
But
I'm personally saving you a trip.
Yeah, but they don't care. They just don't want to move. So they leave everything everywhere so that way you can't move them. And it's like,
I'm an ideal guest.
I'll move your stuff myself.
Can I share a really, really good story of a hotel experience?
Yes, I would love it.
So I recently traveled, and yes, I did travel on a discount, but I knew that going in. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a sweet little angel.
Aw, yay!
I'm gonna have all my paperwork ready.
We love that. We love that.
So get this, I'm checking in. I'm flying in, so I'm like, I get there like 3.5 hours before check-in, but I know this. So I'm like, all right, let me just go to the hotel. Let me make nice. Let me present all of my things and let me just see what they can do. Do I really give a crap what room type I have? No. Give me a double. Give me a king. Like, I don't care. Courtyard, street view. I don't care.
Give me a roll-in shower next to the dumpsters. It's fine.
Just not when somebody is smoked in, please.
Ideally,
that's my line.
A bed is fine. Like, that's really bare minimum. So I go... And mind you, traveling all night, didn't sleep. It's, I don't know, noon this time. So I go up to the front desk and this very, very sweet woman has no voice. And she's trying her best. She's doing great. Hi, how are you? I'm not even going to try and imitate. I said, hey, I know I am hours early for check-in. I just want to see if you have anything available because I need to sleep. I said, if you need me to change rooms tomorrow, I absolutely will. Like, I understand you have, like, other reservations. And so I literally just want to, like, lay down and take a nap at this point.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, okay, let me look. And I don't even know what I originally booked. And she was like, is 2 doubles fine? I'm like, yeah, I don't care. And she goes, is first floor okay? That's really all we have available right now. I said, sure. And I said, well, I have to change rooms. And she goes, no, you will stay in that room for the entirety of your stay. And she goes, credit card and ID. And I said, do you need my form, my special discount form? And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, please. Thank you so much. And at the very end, because I purposely asked because I want to know her name for a survey. Can I get your name? And I introduced myself. Hi, my name is Liz. And I said, can I ask, did you lose your voice? She goes, oh my God, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I lost my voice. I said, do you want some tea? Like, can I get you anything?
Oh my God, you're so sweet. Stop. I would have eaten you up and given you half your stuff for free.
I felt so bad. Well, I mean, I was staying at a discount. I don't think I could get anything better. But she was just so pleasant and looked like she felt like shit. And I told her, I was like, can you get out of here early today? Like, you need to go home and rest your voice. Like, all this stuff. So every time I saw her the whole trip, I was like, hi, Debbie. How are you? How's your voice?
Oh my God, you're so sweet.
Shout out to Debbie.
Shout out to Debbie.
I love that. You would think people staying on the associate rate, which I guess a lot of the times it's not the associate, they can be some of my worst guests and be the rudest and most entitled. And when I get someone on an associate rate or even friends and family that's just pleasant and kind and just like a human, I get so excited. Like, I was checking in this one lady and she had, she'd booked an associate rate and I was like, oh, okay. Do you mind if I get your form? She's like, yes. She pulls it and she just gives it right to me. And I was like, oh, thank you for having it ready. She's like, I know. She's like, I work at a hotel and I just think it's so annoying when I have to, like, you know, they have to email it to me and I have to go, I have to print it. She's like, so whenever I travel, I try to have it ready. And I'm like, you know what? I love you. And I gave her free parking.
I had mine in a like file folder.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, on that form, what is item number 1?
Print and bring original form.
Yes.
Don't know. Didn't read it. Just printed it.
Right
Nobody
there.
ever
Number
does,
1.
though.
You
Ever.
must present an original printed form at the time of check-in.
And we tell people that. And
The
they're
person
like,
I got the discount from clearly told me that. So
Right.
like I was prepped and ready. And I also didn't want to be a nuisance. Like, I know it's a big deal to get these discounts. I'm like, I want to be the ideal guest. I'm not going to make a freaking peep.
I'm so proud.
Yeah. Man.
They grow up so quick.
I know. Thank you for being a good human. Everybody out there, take some notes. Yeah, people who get my form, and this is like a whole nother subject, that list is slim. Like, I don't even trust my own family with my form. I'm not kidding. I have siblings I do not trust with the form because it's tied to my job. How people behave. I could lose my job over.
It's direct reflection on you.
And I can't tell you how many people I've seen lose their job because either they did something stupid or someone whom they're related to that used their form did something stupid. And so I have to trust you literally with my job. So I can count on one hand how many people I trust to give that form to. So.
Oh my gosh. What's a big deal? Because what does the form even say? I should read
Behave.
what I'm presenting.
Yeah, I mean, it literally says all of that. That your behavior traveling on that rate, on that form, is a direct reflection of the employee and can impact the employee's employment.
And I will say this, I have a really good friend who's asked me like multiple times for the form and I always make up an excuse. I like to have a few drinks and maybe sometimes a few too many.
We are right now. Not a few too many.
And maybe once or twice I've had to be chased and corralled to go back home. Like, you know, maybe those things have happened. But I don't go stay at my brand on my form and do dumb stuff like that. I know to do that in the safety of my own home or with my friend. Like, I know, like, okay.
Nothing to do with work.
No, I don't like mix work and like fun. But so I have some friends who maybe like to go have some fun who I know would have fun on my form, and I'm like, the website doesn't work, which conveniently it does that a lot, but I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm maxed out on people I can add. Oh, I'm sorry, the website doesn't work, and I come up with excuses. I'm like, nope, girl, I don't trust you with my job, I'm sorry.
Yeah, or you could just say like, oh, I'm looking, that rate's like not available for...
No, because some of these people know how to book it.
Oh.
And they like know the codes to use, and I just have to be like, oops, sorry, website's down. Oops, sorry, I've added the max number of people. They don't work there and they don't know. No, hard pass. On that same note though, and then again, people who are associates will totally understand this. Who else hates, and y'all can hit the like button wherever you're at on whatever post you're looking at right now, when somebody asks you for your discount, like messages you out of nowhere.
What?
Yeah, not even like a text, okay? Because you haven't talked in so long.
Like on social.
Yeah, like messages you out of nowhere on a social.
They're sliding
and
into
be like,
the DMs.
Hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, hi, Becky, that I haven't talked to since junior year of high school.
Do you work for X brand?
Well, they know because they see it and they go, oh my God, I just happen to be traveling to X state. Is there any way? And I'm like, go fork yourself. But like literally that's happened so many times. And so I actually recently stopped putting where I work or even what brand I work at because I'm so sick of people hitting me up for forms.
Oh, wow.
It's ridiculous. Do not hit up Miss B. If we don't talk on a reg and I don't like trust you again with my job, don't hit me up. Do you have people hit you up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a couple of family members that I will give the form to, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I've got a bunch of siblings.
Right?
I know how to book with the code though.
Yeah, but if you don't have the paper.
No. But it's helpful even when you're inquiring about booking a vacation or a trip. It's helpful.
Oh, no, totally.
It's the same code. It's been the same code for how many years? 1 million.
Really?
So lots of people who don't work for the brand know how to book or have told their friends, like, it's out there how to book.
Okay, so let's piggyback on that and loop back to my first rant about people booking like on the government rate. Okay, you can go online. You can find blank forms online, but there's numbers in those forms that allow us to check the validity of that form.
Yep.
It'll kick back to me exactly where that form came from and whether it's valid or not.
Are you doing that at the time of check-in?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
At the time they're presenting their form?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because like as you're checking in, I have no idea what you're doing back there
No.
typing.
And that's
A
the
lot
way
of
it should
things.
be.
You're just typing away. I'm just waiting there with my ID and credit card ready. Tell me when to insert my chip.
Right.
Yep.
So we will check the validity of the form. And if it's not a good form, I will call you out right there on the spot.
So that has been happening a lot this summer for us. And I'm not kidding. Like in the past few weeks, multiple times. My assistant manager is bomb at catching these forms. Bomb. Like you're supposed to be typing in the numbers every single check-in, but sometimes, the desk agents will get a little behind. They're rushing through a check-in. Like, so if they
see a line,
they make a little
like,
stack
forming, yeah.
and they go and check them later. And my assistant manager could spot one from a mile away. And so the guest was checking in and they set the form down on the desk and my assistant manager kind of just glanced, walked over, looked at the form and she's like, this isn't a valid form. They're like, what? She's like, I mean, we can plug it in right now, but do you want me to plug in the numbers to see if it's a valid form? Yeah, it is. My son gave it to us. And she's like, okay. She plugged it in. She's like, invalid form. She's like, so right now you're in possession of a fraudulent form. So I could cancel your reservation right now. No. We didn't know. Our son gave it to us. We didn't know. And she's like, okay, well then I'm going to change your rate to a regular rate, but be aware that, blah, 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 blah. But so people keep trying to use them.
Do you add notes like into that person's like profile?
Yeah, but
If they have one.
yeah, because the problem is a lot of these don't have memberships. They're just booking without a membership, so it doesn't follow them to hotel. So we've been catching those fraudulent forms, and a lot of the times there's like imperfections and things that like I look at it at a quick glance and I don't notice it. She notices. She's like, oh yeah, and she explained it to me. Like what caught her eye immediately, the line on the side. She's like, it wasn't completely straight. It kind of jagged out, and then you could see they used whiteout and then tried to repencil the line in to make it straight again. I was like, how did you see that?
There are things like a halftone that doesn't photocopy well. The font that's used is a proprietary font.
Of the brand.
So you
Of the
can't
brand.
reproduce it.
So you can find stuff out there that's marginally close, but the kerning between the letters is wrong. Or
I'm going to look this up real quick.
or the fact that they try to run it through a printer. So like the font is printed not quite in the right place, or it's at a little bit of an angle, or there's just little quirky things that'll stand out. But I do love the look on people's faces when you catch that form.
In the act, it's
Yep.
amazing.
Number 1 says original must be presented.
And one of the bogus forms that I've seen doesn't have that as the number 1. It's got something totally different.
It's like number 8.
That's
No, it's not even on there
hilarious.
about having a printed original form. It's like somebody has modified it to not require the printed form.
Yeah, there's all these. I could go on for like a whole episode about all the different things I've seen with fraudulent forms and all the ways you can do it.
Oh yeah, we got a form number here.
I'll just stop it here by saying, guys, don't book rates that you're not eligible for, and don't make fraudulent forms.
Oh yeah, that's where we started on this.
Because you're gonna, Miss B is gonna check you in. Miss B is gonna take you out back, and we're gonna have a talking.
I mean, like, for me, I just prefer to cancel it.
I know.
You don't want the revenue
No,
of a regular rate?
no.
Okay.
Well,
I
I
just-
think if they're untrustworthy enough to even do a form.
Do you want them in your hotel?
No.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a chargeback on that payment. It's a mess.
Oh my God. Chargebacks is another thing that's been out of control lately.
It's insane.
We had one guy that was like $791 or something like that, total charge for his room and tax, that he disputed with his credit card company,
Oh, come on.
claiming not as shown.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I don't even know. You checked in. You stayed for 6 nights. nights or no, I'm sorry. I think it was 5 nights.
Stop.
You're going to dispute the whole stay for what reason?
Oh my God.
We won the chargeback
Good.
challenge. I mean, we sent a copy of the folio, a copy of his reservation screenshot, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, you stayed. You were here. Sorry, Charlie.
So I actually had one recently too. This last week, Mr. Smith reached out to me and said that he stayed, but he only had 1 room, but he got receipts for 2 rooms. And I'm like, oh, that's really weird. And I was like, and you didn't check into both? He's like, no, I only checked into 1 room. I was like, wow, that is so odd. We'll go ahead and investigate. And, depending on our findings, I never promise anything because I know how this game works. I was like, depending on our findings, we'll return those funds to you if, everything checks out. Okay. And he kept bugging me every single day. Like, have you found out yet? And I'm like, no, we're still investigating. I will reach out to you. And so finally I get all the findings and I get the housekeeping boards, and the housekeeping boards reported both rooms as having been vacant dirty, which means they were slept in. I'm like, okay, but I don't just go off that evidence. I then ask for a lock interrogation to see if the locks were.
There we go.
And the locks were accessed by physical keys. But then my brain's like, well, how did this guy get 2 reservations in his name? Like, what if he was telling the truth, So I go into the mobile system. I run activity reports on that day. I see that he mobily checked into both rooms. He did it at different times.
What?
So, because he said, I was like, well, did you do mobile check-in? And he's like, I did. And I don't really remember doing it. I mean, maybe, I don't remember checking into 2 rooms. I know I didn't check into 2 rooms. And he's like, I mean, maybe it did glitch at one point, but I don't know if that would have done it. So I go and I check the reports. He checked a 1 room at 9 in the morning and then the other one at 4 in the afternoon.
Weird.
And then he would receive mobile keys for both. So he would show 2 reservations on there. And then the final nail in the coffin for me, I looked at the folios and I looked at the room tax. He logged into Wi-Fi on both rooms. To log into the Wi-Fi and to have a charged room, you have to type in your room number and your last name. So he typed in his last name and room number into both rooms. They were not on the same floor. He had to actively go and sign into both.
Why would you have 2 separate rooms?
He was trying to scam.
But literally did all of this. I tried to call him. Didn't even have voicemail set up. So I sent him an email. I was like, I tried to reach out to you. This is our findings. Housekeeping report said this. Room lock said this. And I, with being brief, not giving away too many details. I'm like, housekeeping said you were in there. Locks were used. And you also checked into both reservations at different times, and you logged onto the Wi-Fi. And I said all that. Due to all of this, you will be charged for those 2 rooms. And I said, if you'd like to dispute this further, you're more than happy to talk with your financial institution, but on our end, the charge stays. Literally later that day, I get a call from American Express. And they're like, oh, this guest is saying, our customer is saying X, Y, and Z. I told her everything. I sent her all the receipts and things. And she's like, wow. She's like, this guy's really trying to pull one over. And the Amex lady was shocked. And she's like, that's insane. She's like, he seems so genuine. I was like, I know. I talked to him too. But all of this adds up. Not all of these things would happen if this was real.
I just want to know why he had 2 rooms.
Probably for friends or who knows. I don't try to understand people nowadays. I just know how to catch them for the most part.
Not a stay for him, apparently.
Dummy. But yeah, so I totally feel you, Bill. I'm very sick of people, and people can be awful.
And they're getting worse. That's the problem.
Yeah,
they're
they are.
Worse.
So I'm struggling right now with budgeting for the fitness center project. So I tried to order FF&E for the fitness center, and my accounting director said, no, that's not a capital expenditure. That goes into your operating. I'm like, but it's part of the project. I want new stuff for a new facility. I want a new trash can. Can I buy a new trash can in the capital budget? No.
Just
Operating.
call it something else.
Yeah.
It's all about how you name it.
Well, it's more than that, though. With CapEx, you typically have to be above a certain threshold in price, but you also need to have...
But it's the entire project, not each individual freaking invoice.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah, it's
silly. Oh, the project is well over. Let me tell you.
Funny.
That's probably why they're pushing it back to operating.
Our owners gave us a wide budget of in between $500,000 and $2 million. I think I'll hit under 2 million. It's fine. I can't buy $300 of trash cans. Come on.
Guys, speaking of things, you're buying and trying to explain to Accounting One why you need it. One of my sales manager, do you guys remember when I had that convention and she thought it would be funny to buy me a pink megaphone?
Wait, the glitter one or the other one?
No, I think it was just a bright pink, almost like Barbie looking megaphone.
The cons.
So the nerd convention, because I was security, she bought me, and she thought it'd be hilarious to buy me a pink megaphone, and I love it. But when they were putting that in the financials, you have to list everything out and put names. They knew ownership would lose shit if they saw a pink megaphone. So they named it something like security amplification device.
Should we play an excerpt from the megaphone?
Of me testing it at work?
Yeah.
You gotta test it out.
Hold on. We need to pause for the research department.
This one.
Back it up, everyone. It's time to go home. Happy Friday. Let's go.
So that is Ms. B in the back offices playing security and telling everyone to go home.
Yeah, with my security amplification device. Definitely wasn't pink.
Is there any glitter on it?
No, there wasn't.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That'll be in the next expense report.
Let's do it.
How do you think you're going to name, glitter decal?
Dude, I don't know, but they were literally trying to figure out how to name it on the
Stickers
P&L.
needed for front desk. Well, Bill, thank you so much tonight for your rant, but I think we all need to wrap it up and save some for next time. What do you
agree.
think?
I agree. Plus, I'm not going to lie. I've had a little too much wine and way too many snickerdoodles.
The snickerdoodles. Man, I only had one. You ate the rest.
I had 3.
But who's counting? We're not counting calories here. Anywhoozy. Thank you guys for listening to yet another episode of Tales from the Service Industry. Make sure to follow us on social. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Tales from the Service Industry. Just search us in the search bar. If you have any stories, feel free to shoot us a DM on any social platform or an email at talesfromtheserviceindustry@gmail.com.
And I have been teasing the fact that not only does that email address kind of suck and that it was going to change, but that I've been working on a website or having a guy work on a website, and that's almost done.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
So I am hoping that by the time this episode is released into the wild, that the website will be finished.
So keep an eye on our socials for the link for that new website and our new email address to follow.
Well,
Yes.
we'll leave that a surprise for now.
It will be a surprise, but I can tell you it's going to be a whole lot easier than talesfromtheserviceindustry@gmail.com.
What a mouthful. Hey, and another promise, why don't we put it in the description as well if we have a new email address?
We will.
Yes.
Once that is finalized, it'll all be put into the description.
So look at our description. Honestly, our descriptions are pretty funny and dope to read. So if you're not reading our descriptions, I would honestly go back and read a couple episodes. Like your favorite episode, I would go and read that description.
And if you're not reading it, it hurts my feelings because I work hard on those things.
Yes,
Do we have any cheese? Because I still have wine.
Oh, that was good.
Bum, psh.
But anyways, Miss B, thank you for being here.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Bill, thank you for being a fabulous host for us.
Liz, thank you for being a fabulous deviant.
Of course, anytime. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye, guys.
AvenuePodcast.net